Hey everybody, welcome back to Invest. Today we're going to be talking about the NVIDIA earnings that came out last night. And we just want to do a quick rundown here. I'm not going to go into a whole bunch of details or anything like that. It's going to be pretty straightforward. NVIDIA, they did beat on the earnings. Earnings came in pretty well, but the stock really didn't move all that much in after hours. And I think that kind of sheds a light on exactly what I mentioned yesterday in our video, our midday update video, kind of predicting what was going to happen. NVIDIA is kind of running into some headwinds, and it bodes probably not that good for the AI sphere in general. And, part of the problem is going to be DeepSeek coming out and showing that you can train pretty good models for way cheaper than people expected, which is probably going to drive down demand for NVIDIA. What I think the bigger thing wasn't that you could train it on little hardware, is that you could train it on non-NVIDIA hardware. And when you got that sort of generalization, suddenly competitors like Intel, like AMD are going to look a lot more attractive to people because they're coming in at a lower price point, there's less demand. And if you can get pretty good results, or at least somewhat comparable results to what you're getting from NVIDIA over on competitors, suddenly NVIDIA is running into a lot of headwinds with competition. They are still the market leader. I don't expect that to change in the next year or 2 years even. But AMD is going to quickly catch up because they've identified exactly why NVIDIA is so successful, and all they need to do now is build out the software infrastructure to try and assist people into using the cards in a similar way. Going forward though, NVIDIA, the GTX 5090 was really a flop on RTX 5090. I can't remember the naming scheme anymore. It used to be GTX, I can name of the RTX at some point. But the 5090s have been not well received by consumers. 4090s are still outperforming them in some benchmarks. The 5090 has been catching on fire in a couple of cases. So that's stuff that they need to watch out for. So they did beat. But I think the outlook is not looking that great. They're predicting still solid growth. I would say it's probably going to slow down, especially if we go into market headwinds like we are probably going to. So going forward, NVIDIA, their price to earnings is still pretty high. I would expect them to either drop a bit or just kind of flatline. And that's, as an investor, you don't want just stagnation. You want some growth or some volatility, something that you can trade on to make the stock attractive. And for me, NVIDIA is kind of losing that luster. It's still, a solid stock to buy, but it's dwindling quite a bit. And I think there's better options out there in the market. If you're looking for some growth, obviously, with AMD being more of a competitor, they're pretty cheap right now. Buying an AMD is looking more and more attractive. Looking at Intel, they're kind of beginning in the video card market. I don't know if they're going to continue. I think I saw something previously that they might even just be abandoning that because they're not making that much headwinds. I would think that was probably a bad idea. But NVIDIA is got a lot going for it, but it also has a lot of headwinds with geopolitical issues. They're a Taiwanese company. They're right next to China. China keeps inching and inching. As soon as America says they're pulling support for Taiwan, China's just going to swoop in, and suddenly then NVIDIA is kind of in a precarious situation. Even more on that though, some of the stuff, if you want to get deep into the tech, the stuff that makes NVIDIA and graphics cards in general very good for AI inferences and stuff like that is that they're really good at matrix math, which is something that CPUs aren't really that good at. It's very specialized. And, matrix math is really good for graphics and stuff like that. But another headwind that NVIDIA might be getting into is that quantum computing is starting to make some developments. I've been kind of a big critic on quantum computing because there's not that many realistic applications for quantum computers. But one thing they're really good at is, once again, matrix math. So, that's something to look into if they can start doing some applications for doing AI training on quantum computers. That's going to be something to look forward to because that's going to probably just absolutely kill the GPU market. I would say though quantum computers being wide-scale adoption is probably still a good 5 to 10 years out. Progress has been really slow. I know Google did just have a pretty major breakthrough with some technology that they were using, but that getting that up to scale, getting it cheap and comparable in price to AI is still years away. But, like I said, we're going into a full market headwinds. NVIDIA is looking less and less attractive overall. Like I said, the price didn't move all that much in aftermarket. Even though they beat, you will expect them to jump up a few percentage points, but they're kind of just holding steady. I think they went up like 1% at this point in time. I might be able to click over here and see how they are in aftermarket. No, I'm not getting anything on the aftermarket right here on this chart, and I'm not going to be digging into it live on camera. So thanks for watching. If you like videos like this, like and subscribe. I'm going to try and do at least a video a day. I know I mentioned yesterday I'm trying to do like a daily update video, but I think the midday market does not work out too well because yesterday, obviously I recorded the video at around noon, 12:30ish, and the market crashed almost immediately after I made that video. So it's not exactly it didn't crash, but it went down substantially from when I made that video from when I recorded it. So maybe I'll hold it for after hours and do videos after hours, or maybe I'll do it the following morning, and that might work out a little bit better. Oh, yeah, pretty much here. I just didn't look. We're up about 0.81%. So really flat from earnings. But yeah, thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys. Signing out.